Our Collision 2018 coverage is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. Find out all the ways you can benefit from a Prime subscription and get a 30-day free trial by going to collision.live/prime and by audiobooks.com. Get a free trial and a free audiobook to keep at audiobooks.com using promo code TRY70. We have our next guest here. Hello.
Yeah, hey Scott, how we doing?
Fantastic. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Yeah, so my name's Kevin Price, and I am the founder of Hearing the Homeless, a new startup nonprofit out of Austin, Texas.
Very cool. And go ahead and tell us what Hearing the Homeless is.
So basically, Hearing the Homeless is a virtual platform where you can actually hear the stories of the homeless, and then you can give directly to individuals, but onto a smart card where the money is maximized and put towards the most efficient use for what they actually need to get off the streets. So it's a smarter way to give directly.
Fantastic. And it's kind of a modern way of doing it, right? Because you know, one of the things, even if you're out on the street and you want to help, a lot of us don't carry cash, and we couldn't do it anyway.
You're exactly right. and that's what I saw. I saw that it's like the homeless individuals were kind of left behind whenever the technology boom came about, and so it's a way to reintroduce them back into society and give them access to those tools to be able to really thrive instead of just survive with $2 given to them here and there.
And so it's kind of like an open push prepaid card, right?
Yes.
But it's not just like an open use kind of. You're not going to take it to ABC Liquor and be able to, which is another one of those concerns that some people have, that they may not want to give money if they see somebody. This kind of eliminates some of that concern.
Yeah, no, it really does, and that's kind of what I saw, is that there wasn't a efficient, simple way to get to the homeless, and there wasn't a safe and secure way. So this tackles both of those things, but at the same time, with our program, it personalizes the donation system because you are giving directly and able to actually hear their story and follow them throughout their journey to where you can feel connected to them and know that your money is just not, being wasted by giving to a larger organization where your money just falls through the cracks.
And there's a huge operating expense and stuff like that, or you don't know, you give money to an organization, all of a sudden their priorities change, or they start donating money to political campaigns and things. You're like, but people. There was a thing.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, and that's what the program's really all about. It's people helping out other people that are in need. It's as simple as that.
That's fantastic. Now, let's talk about how the process works. Let's start on the homeless side.
Okay.
If you are homeless and you want to participate in this program, how would you do that?
Yeah, and that's a great question, Scott. And that's really the best part about the program is because right now we are so new. We launched about 2 months ago during South by Southwest.
Oh, wow.
And so far, I'll just go and hang out in soup kitchens. And I'll find somebody that, I really connect with, that has a golden heart and really needs a lot of support. And then I'll invite out my videographer. We'll capture their story on a really nice camera, and then we'll basically create a profile for them, set them up with a crowdfunding campaign, and then I'll advocate on their behalf for what that individual needs. So right now, it's very grassroots, and it's very much, our whole slogan.
Very personal on your part.
Yeah, and it is, because that's what the program is set up to be. It's one human at a time.
Yeah.
Hearing the homeless one human at a time and figuring out what that person needs.
Okay.
So that's kind of how we're starting
One human at a time is not a bad service mark.
I think so too, man. We're going to take it slow, and then as we grow, it's going to be the type of thing where we have individuals in the community that are setting up profiles for homeless people that they know, and then we'll just spread naturally.
Okay. Very cool. Now, let's talk on the other side.
Okay.
If I want to get involved with learning about and donating to the homeless, How do I do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So on our website, you're going to be able to go and see all of the different profiles of the people that we've been working with, and then you'll be able to donate directly on that site. And then we'll also be using a text to donate platform from Mobile Cause.
Okay.
And so you can type into your phone, it'll be 41444, and then you'll text HTH Charles. And so that would open up a donation screen for you to donate directly to Charles, and you'll be able to see his video and things like that.
Okay.
Eventually we'll have an app where you can swipe through and see all the different profiles.
Sure. That's awesome. So the card that you have here in your hand, which is the card, right?
This is
How
our
does this
marketing
work?
card. So the card, these cards are from a company called Penny Inc. out of Australia.
Okay.
And they have a system in place where basically what I can do is I can go and swipe this card at a cash register, and this card can only be used at that cash register. So it can be completely personalized to any person, and we can open up any store or close any store. So it's really, really personalized.
What a cool concept.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ping you after this about that company.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're an incredible company. They're not charging us anything for the cards. We can get literally, hundreds of thousands, and they wouldn't charge us anything. And they're not charging us anything for the transaction. They're only making money through the movement of money through their system.
Wow, that's awesome on their part too.
It took me a long time.
Sounds like you found some good partners
I
here.
did. It took me a long time to find them, and I'm really glad I did because they are just completely on board with the mission, and they just want to see it thrive.
That's cool. So right now, you're from Austin, so that must be where we're focusing right now.
That's correct.
Okay. That's makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Once it starts to grow beyond your travel radius, what are your plans for maintaining the growth?
Yeah, and that's a great question, and that's something that we're still figuring out. I mean, so far, the idea and the concept and the platform, the technology has come together so quickly that time is going to come sooner rather than later. And what we're thinking is we're going to start at different universities. So we'll go into a university and we'll have a fellowship with some of the graduate students. And so we'll have the universities take that program and launch it in their cities and really keep the focus on the students and keep them being proactive, because that's really where real change is going to come from.
That's a great idea, you starting in the university.
Definitely.
I like that. And let's say I'm at a university and interested in what you're doing and want to get more information or get in contact with you. How might I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So my direct email is kprice@hearingthehomeless. You can also just visit our website, hearingthehomeless.org, or any of our social media. We're at Hearing the Homeless on Facebook, Instagram. So definitely just reach out and send a message.
Fantastic. Now, to ask about you.
Yeah.
How did you decide this is the problem I want to solve?
That's a really great question.
Because it's an interesting problem that I don't know, may or may not have directly affected you. I have no idea.
Yeah.
How is this the problem? You're like, let's do it.
Definitely. So growing up, I'm from a small town in Artesia, New Mexico, and the town I grew up in, we only had
in Mexico.
In New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
There was crowd noise all of a sudden.
Gotcha.
I want to make sure I heard correctly.
Yeah. So
Okay,
New Mexico, and there was only one homeless individual in the town that I was living in.
Okay.
And me and Ricky Dee, we spent a lot of time together, and we just developed a really strong friendship. And I was able to experience one of the most beautiful love stories I will ever experience in my entire life, that just impacted my heart on another level and planted the seed for all of this to grow from.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a fascinating backstory.
Yeah, it really is. And it's funny because, me and Ricky Dee, I'd take him Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners every year, a heater and a cooler for winter and the summer. And but the reason I was drawn to him wasn't to help him, right?
Right.
He just had the most interesting stories. And
Okay,
so I would just
sure.
go hang out. And So whenever I moved to Austin, I was just completely overwhelmed at the immensity of the homeless issue down there. And I had been living down there for about a month, and I had this idea come to me in the middle of the night, like a lightning bolt straight to my brain.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the words, though, hearing the homeless.
Yeah.
It originally started off as just capturing stories and spreading awareness, and then it grew from there.
Understood. And a natural progression.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really great idea. I happened to mention to you before we went on air that yours was one of the companies that I specifically was looking forward to. Companies, you know.
Yeah, gotcha.
You kind of get into a mindset of Collision. one of the organizations I was really excited about talking to because it's so different from what we usually see here.
Absolutely.
And I work with a number of nonprofits, and we've got some of our staff are on board of directors of nonprofits. So it was a really exciting thing to see that there was going to be a nonprofit here.
I'm guessing there's probably not many.
No, to the best of my knowledge, you're the first one that's ever come across my scheduling system, and we've been doing Collision since 2015. So
it's really interesting, and it's funny because I just recently participated in the Fund conference in Austin. It's a similar thing, pitch competition. I was the only nonprofit there, and we had 100 companies. Every company had 30 seconds on stage, and then top 10 got a minute. And I ended up making it into the top 10 amongst all these other, tech startup companies. And I was 3 votes away from number 1. Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So I'm excited to see what Collision has to offer. I know there's a lot of people and a lot of influential people.
Big event. We've heard 25,000 what they're expecting this year.
Wow.
Yeah, compared to 17 last year in the same facility. It's 25 this year. So we're really excited to see what it looks like. I'm a little afraid to see walking through what it looks like, because I know what the room looks like.
Yeah.
But I love that everything about Collision feels startup-y, right down to the fact that they're literally in there building the stalls right now out of plywood.
Really?
Like it's the stalls are not pretty, but they so fit the environment that we're
awesome.
in. I love it. The first one we did in 2015, we were in there while they were building, and we got to see them putting the stuff up because the media village was separated in a very different way from here in New Orleans, because we were in Vegas, and getting to see them build it so fits.
Yeah.
And everything they do is so good about staying on theme, feeling grassroots, just like the way you're going.
Exactly.
It's how this conference feels too.
That's really cool, and that's so important in today's day and age, because it's important to keep things at the heart of what you're doing. Right?
Absolutely, and you can totally feel the passion here at the conference, both from the Web Summit team that puts on the conference to the people who are exhibiting. Obviously, there's a lot of passion from you about what you're doing, and I always like to see that in the exhibitors.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, and that's really the only thing that's pushed us forward. I was working at a really nice job, making a lot of money at a tech company in Austin, and I quit my job about 3 months ago. Everybody told me not to, but I couldn't do it. The passion was overwhelming, and I jumped all in. And that's the one thing that keeps me moving forward, is just the passion to change some lives and to really get some programs in place that are going to really help.
That is really cool. Off camera, I have another organization I want to introduce you to, who is an exhibitor here that I think you'll really like. But I really appreciate you coming and taking the time to talk to us today.
I appreciate you, Scott.
Absolutely. And hopefully you'll have a good rest of your collision.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you very much.